Hi, this is Coach Chan from Upcut Martial Arts Studio. It's been a while since my last video upload. Well, we just go straight at it. We are still at Green Belt syllabus, where today's topic we're going to talk about free sparring. It will be in the free sparring playlist. Now, last talk about free sparring training is for yellow green belt. So now those students already achieved their green belt rank. They are going to learn more about what they're going to improve in their free sparring techniques. So before I move on to explaining additional teaching materials, I need to recap what I have taught in yellow green belt free sparring syllabus. So in yellow green belt, we talk about your attack combinations. As you reach yellow green belt, you have 5 kicking techniques: front kick, turning kick, side kick, back kick, and twisting kick, where I actually explain how you can mingle with your punches. For example, jab cross front kick, jab cross back kick, so on and so forth. And the more combination you have, your body will start to sink into the movement and make it easier. Alright. The second focus I did was talking about the footwork, how to move forward, backward, left, right, and how to design movement. I think I did that, of suddenly do a fake and real actions with your footwork. I explained last video uploads. Other than that, I think I also talk about blocks. I guess, I'm not sure, I'll have to check on that. So if I find out that I did not talk about defend technique in this previous belt ranking, I'm going to watch it and fill it back for you in the new future videos. So, but today I'm going to talk about the 3 circles theory that I've used it to explain to my students. There are 3 circles of attack and 3 circles of defense. Now these 3 circles consist of inner circle, middle circle, and outer circle. The inner circle is what I call the red zone. That means both partners, when they are performing training, they can easily reach each other with the kick and punch. That is the red circle, which I also call it, name it as danger zone or red zone. Now, the middle circle is actually one step back, depending on your size and your height of you and your opponent. Now, this middle circle is what I call the parking zone, where your assumption is by moving only one step, you are able to reach your opponent. This not just work for you, it also work for your opponent. So you have to take into consideration the height, the build, and how far they can reach with their feet and your feet. And you have to study this, do a lot of training to find out where is the best location to execute your attack or counter attack combination. Now the outer circle will be one, that means 2 steps back away from the opponent. Now this circle you can't do a thing. Even you try to do 1 step forward, you still can't reach it. 1 step forward, you try to reach your opponent, but your opponent is not stationary. They can move, they can still avoid or divert. So these 3 circles will guide you to use your attack and counter attack combinations, all right, with more understanding of your ability and weakness, all right. So it applies both attack and defense. Today I'm going to do some drawing. All right, I hope you can see this. I use a marker pen to do this. So this is a blank piece of paper. So you can see there are 3 circles. Very simple. All right, this is inner circle, danger zone, which is what I call the red zone. All right. Then you have ready zone. Alright, that means 1 step you are going to get in and attack your opponent. And you have outer zone. Alright, where you can rest, especially when you are really tired. Okay, and I name these 3 circles attack circles. Now it can be defense circles, but just let me go through the attack syllabus first so you have a better understanding. So inner red zone, middle or ready zone, and outer safe zone. This is attack circle. So how do you use these 3 attack circles? Now keep focusing on these 3 circles, and when you are performing a light sparring with a partner to train together, you always visualize that 3 circles, not only on yourself but also on your opponent. When you notice that your opponent steps into the middle circle, that means they are ready to strike. So you have to be aware, be more alert how you're going to plan either your defense or your counter attack. So this is, I can touch the target, this is red zone, but if I step 1 step away, and if that opponent steps into your middle circle, the second circle, that means they are in range to strike you if they choose to attack. So you can either defend or walk away, avoid those attacks. Now, also at the same time, you can visualize 2 persons moving, and each person will have 3 circles surrounding them. When they are moving, it's even harder to project the 3 circles surrounding that 2 person performing sparring. Now, why do I design these 3 circles? Is to let you recognize and understand when you are ready to attack, when you are ready to defend. Alright? Now, after a while, you will see the circle fades, and you can actually judge offhand by how far your opponent stands or how much you need to get closer in order for you to launch that attack. Alright, so I hope you understand, you follow these 3 circles concept, because when you reach black belt and you are going for second dan test, you will be facing 2 opponents in free sparring. So these 3 circles will help you to identify that 2 opponents. Alright, when they move, that 3 circles, more or less you can start planning your strategy of how you avoid, how you manipulate, and how you attack or counter attack these 2 opponents. Alright, now when I talk about this, I get quite excited, because the strategy of 1 versus 2 is very exciting and interesting. Okay, so if you have any questions about these 3 circles of attack, please post under this video. I may get back to you late, doesn't matter, as long as I reply. It's very interesting because these 3 circles really help, especially to the beginners, to understand what is their capabilities and how important the footwork is rather than their punching and kicking technique. Alright, everybody that you spar always charge, especially beginners. When they charge, they do not know about pain. When they get punched and kicked, if it's too strong, they will be stunned and they keep moving back. That is all they are thinking. Alright, you have to train them to recognize this circle on the floor when they move, alright, and understand when to get ready their defenses and attack combination. Okay, now moving on, I'm going to perform. Now the 3 circles for defense is more important actually. The attack part is quite straightforward. Now if I draw that 3 circles again, alright, so I'll do this fast since I already explained this. So it's the same distance and assumption. Inner circle is danger, red. Second circle is ready. And third circle is comfort. This is for defense. Alright, so if you understand this, 3 circles. Remember these 3 circles. Because the way you defend yourself is totally different. Alright? First thing, you have to understand your hand, your punch, and your kick. You see the leg is longer, it's different distance. And every person, depending on the height, will throw different range of strikes at you. Alright? So you have to learn how to recognize that. Now, I'll start off with the easiest. Inner circle, the red zone. When people can hit you, alright? Now, the defense mechanism you use in this zone is taking all the hits. Don't run. This is my advice, alright? Because you do not have enough time to run away. The more you run away, the more you're going to get hit, alright? The more you're trying to get avoiding, you see that? So let's do this angle. You're trying to avoid, their hand can still get you, or their kicks. It's very close. So the only defense that you need to apply is full block. Now, why do I show that full block and raising my leg? Because you're trying to protect the face and the body, which is in the point system. Alright, you're not allowed to punch or hit the top of the head, back of the head. Side, yes. Side of the body, yes. Back of the body, no. Below the belt, no. So learn how to protect yourself. This is the one I'm teaching today of full block. If I did not teach this in the previous video for yellow green belt, so I'm going to recap this, but here I'm going to explain this. When you're learning how to block and protect your face, this is the front. Don't cover the whole face because you can't see what is happening. Alright? Raise your arm up to create a barrier. See that? If there's already two hands in front, the probability of them punching your face is low, but your body is open. Alright? Protect side of the body. This is the front, sorry. Here, here, can be easy, but as long as you leave room to look what is happening in front, because no matter how they punch on the elbow, you can't hit your face. If you use your hand to cover the face like that, you're going to hit your own face, especially when they perform a kick on your glove. Boom, you're going to hit yourself. So cover your head, use the elbow as leverage to block it, and make sure you can see in front. Now, this is a defensive block. You can't see what is happening, but you have a very good protection on the front of the face. But the thing is, if you want to counter attack, you can actually utilize the same concept with one elbow. See that? Because your face is always the bait. I'll talk about the body later. When the face is always the bait, when you have a barrier in between the face and your attacking opponent, that's good enough. Even you can use one arm to deflect that punches and counter attack. You can move the elbow, you see that? You can move the elbow. Alright? Move, block it, and counter attack. If you see that kick and powerful barrage of punches is coming, cover them. Take all the hits, don't run. Alright? Now, if you cannot see what is in front because of excitement, you can't see in front. You can look at the floor and look at your opponent's feet because you can identify how close they are. Alright? Then the simplest counter attack. See that? This is my reach, barrage. Taking all the hits or even further, doesn't matter. You look at the floor, this is the leg. You can wait because they will not keep punching forever. They will stop at one time. And front kick. Just aim for the body. They punch, they open up their body. Don't forget that. Alright? So learn to use your front leg. If not enough space, jump back. But don't drop your hand. This is very important. Alright? And this is only the red zone, inner circle. You're blocking all the punches. Now, why do I emphasize more on punches? Because they don't really kick you when you're in the red zone. It's too close for them to raise their knee. They might try two techniques. Downward kick. In the olden days, alright, I'm old school, I'm not the new school. The olden days, they will put their hand on the shoulder and try to downward kick from the side to reach your face. Alright? Shoulder, and try to reach your face. This is very common, alright? But if your arms is up, as I say, they always aim for the face. They don't aim the body. They do not know boxing punches, alright? If not, you'll be doing a lot of body punches. You just raise your arm up to block those kick. Number one, downward kick. Number two is jumping back kick. Very effective. You're standing very close, you're blocking, alright? You jump back and spin, that allows you to create more space to hit their body. See that? Face level, blocking. While blocking, you adjust, turn, alright? I hope you can see me. Then you just hit and kick their body. This is a very popular tactic back in my days when they do sparring for point scoring. As long as you don't run away, you keep fighting back until both of these two opponents will just hug each other, waiting for the referee to separate them. Now this way, you do not lose more points. This way, you're safer, alright? And you do not stand to just nice zone to keep that person keep throwing punches or trying that two kicks on you, alright? You can actually get closer to even disable the punches. Then the referee will separate you, then you start again. Now, remember, inner circle for attack, inner circle, full block, don't run. Okay? Now, let's talk about second circle, the middle circle. Alright, middle circle. Middle circle for attack is called ready circle, ready zone. That means one step, you can reach your opponent very fast. So, if you're using the second circle for defense, alright, there are two ways, which you have to fall back to the yellow green belt video on free sparring. The first lesson I give is your footwork. If you get your footwork right and keep maintaining on the second line of circle, this is where you avoid their punch and kicks easily, because there's quite a distance when they move one step forward to attack you, alright? And the second type of defense for the second line of circles is divert. Divert is using palm, elbow, and your footwork. You have to train this, alright? I'm going to recap on this. So how do you do this? Using your palm, see that? If you're standing at ready zone, you can divert punches. Punch, divert. Punch, divert. Of course, my right hand divert your left hand. Don't go and divert their right hand, because inside against inside, it doesn't work. Because when you want to divert, you want their back facing you. You don't want the front facing you, where their second hand can throw a second punch on your face. So remember, punch, if I'm the puncher, you're diverting. My right hand is your left hand diverting my right punch here. Boom. Boom. Alright? Now, don't forget, you're not pushing. Alright? You're not pushing. You're deflecting. Now, it only works on second circle. It doesn't work on first circle. The danger zone, you cannot do that. It's too fast and too strong. Alright? And the way you divert is using your palm. Don't use your circle, please, your fingers, please. You're going to break your fingers. Use your palm. Divert. Divert. Alright? And for those fighters who are expert, and they're also at the same time wearing their sparring gloves, then you use the backhand. Yes, backhand. Palm. See that? Palm. They don't have to do this. They do the other way. So it depends on how strong is your palm and backhand while you are wearing the gloves to start practicing, because the hit on your palm is quite hard. So you have to start conditioning. Alright? Hence you understand why our beloved founder, General Choi, do that knocking on the wall every morning when he wakes up to condition the first two knuckles. Alright? This is turning your body into a weapon. So second line, learning how to divert. Now, when you divert, before I move on to the next, when you divert for the kicks, alright, your hands go down. See that? Go down. Go down. Same thing. You're using your palm to hook and push. Don't hook and carry, because that's a foul. Hook and push, all right, deflect, then continue whatever you're planning, all right. Now, rule of thumb, when they throw a kick, front kick, or a side kick, always look out and divert their kicks where their back will be facing you. So the side kick come, you divert, their kick will be like this, showing you their blind spot. Then you can work on your counter attack. Make it something simple. Don't make it complicated. Alright? Don't do jab cross front kick, turning kick, downward kick, side kick, back kick. You don't have to be too complicated. Just work on punch, pull, 1 point, move back, try again. That's how you spar. You're working to improve your strategy, your footwork and whatnot. Alright? So for front kick and side kick, alright, to further elaborate for seniors, your body must move back, because you're aiming your body, move back. Don't totally drop, open your face up. Okay? Move back, move back. Now, for turning kick, it depends on luck. Because the force of turning kick, if they are doing snapping, it's okay, but that's it. But it's very simple. But if you are throwing a full house, you can't pak, your hand will break. So learn to be safe. Boom, use the elbow. The elbow cannot swing towards you. The upper, yes. The elbow cannot. Raise it elbow, block it. If you miss, they hit their body, it's fine. Condition your body, alright? But don't, I see a lot of beginners do this. Alright? When you face a very powerful full force turning kick, you can't block it this way. Now, so aside from blocking, actually the movement I did just now is diverting. I call it diverting. You have to mix together with the footwork. So I have explained before how you move forward, backward, left, right. So you combo together with your divert action. It's always opposite. Watch carefully. For the punch, your jab, I divert, I move opposite. Your cross. Now, when sideways, I'm going to explain to you, when you divert, don't go to the side straight line. What if that punch is very fast and very strong? You can't have enough time to divert. So remember, adjust diagonal back or diagonal forward depending on the situation. So this way, I'm going side and back, side and back. One thing, I have more rooms to counter attack or even kick. Second thing is I'm safer because I'm further, but I'm still on second line or maybe into first line, depending how fast they charge. Alright? So don't forget that. You have to mix your footwork with your divert technique. If it's a kick, see that? See my body, my tummy shrink and slide back. Alright? Slide back, or the front kick and side kick. If turning kick, pow, pow, pow. You just slide. So you have to make use of your hand divert technique with your footwork. Always go opposite way. And that is second line of defense. Circle. Okay? First line, full block, taking all the hits. Second, divert or to avoid. Wait for the opportunity to counter attack. Alright? Of course, the further away you are, the less chance you have to counter attack. And which means on the last line of defense, the third line of defense, see how far they are? What are you defending against? Now, this I'm not talking about your opponent's attack. On the last line, third line of defense, is for you to rest. If you recognize, usually those who compete and fought like 3 rounds, 4 rounds, their bodies start to feel tired. Alright? If you train consistently, your body actually start to become stronger. But if you don't, your body will start to get tired. So when you're tired, the experienced fighter, the veteran, will use the third line and second line to fight, to spar, instead of second line and first line, which is more intense and fast. So if you're using your third line, you usually rely on your jump and your kicks, because you just want to score the point. You don't want to hurt, you don't want to get hurt. So from here, you just wait for opportunity, very relaxing move, hit and run style. So that is your third line of defense. Very straightforward. So 3 circles for defense is what you need to pay attention to. 3 circles of attack, it's very simple. Outer circle is comfort zone for you to relax as well. Reset yourself, regather yourself before you move into the second circle, parking. I call it parking. I always give a signal to my students. Sometimes you hear me saying parking, parking, parking. It's me asking them to approach, get ready. All right, into the second circle. Once you are ready, they will attack. In the red circle, fight, and use these 3 circles to move about. All right. Now these 3 circles also act as a warning to so-called slightly advanced free sparring syllabus for the green belt, to train themselves what other techniques can they use on top of those that they have learned in free sparring. So this takes a lot of practice and it's fun, because in Taekwondo, pattern is to teach you simulation of combat, but it's a fixed form. We call it a simulation that is not practical. But at the same time, the movement, punching, walking stance, knife and garlic block, L stance, those are strengthening your body with your breathing, because the sine wave is just not the down, up, down action to create power, but also training your lung and increasing your lung capacity. So pattern is very important, all right? Only for those going for competition, patterns will require you to have a perfect form and whatnot. But for those fighters, usually 80% that I saw, they fight really good, but their pattern very practical, but not good enough for competition. All right? Very practical means those who are very particular in winning in pattern. So they're very particular about the points from their posture correction of techniques, all right? But the fighter is different. They want to make practical application and tell the story of what they are doing in the pattern. So 3 lines, work on that. I really hope that you guys enjoy this session. Please post your questions so that we may discuss. I don't know everything. I'm sharing what I've been teaching to my students from the beginners until they reach their black belt. All right, I'm a 4th dan black belt for many years. All right, so above that in black belt syllabus, I don't think I have a lot to share. This mostly I will try my best to share what I know, but mostly the black belts needs to attend the master class, instructor course, empire course to improve themselves and work hand in hand closely with their master, senior master and grandmaster. All right, so hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my videos. Looking forward to your next video and looking forward to see your comment. So hope you enjoy. Bye bye.